Hey, welcome to this week's episode of Topical English Vocabulary with me, Teacher Tiffany. In this week's episode, you are going to learn 5 new English vocabulary words that you'll need in order to speak English fluently and confidently about transportation. Now, this lesson is going to really help you on your English journey. So, are you ready? Well then, let's jump right in. We're going to get started with our very first vocabulary word. So I want to make sure you have your notebook out and your pen. Our very first vocabulary word is carpool. Good. Again, after me, carpool. Excellent. Now, this term carpool literally just refers to a group of people traveling together in a single vehicle, typically to save on transportation costs or reduce environmental impact or to travel in such a manner. This is the verb version of that. A group of people traveling together in one vehicle, trying to save money, trying to get to the same location. We call that a carpool. For example, I want you to imagine that you each work for the government and you have to go to the same building, but you're trying to save gas. So you say, hey, listen, Susan, Sam, and Harry, I'll drive today, then Sam, you'll drive tomorrow, Harry will do the day after that, and then Susan the day after that. Carpool, once again, a group of people traveling together in a single vehicle. And it's usually to save money because you're going to the same destination. You got it? Yes, excellent. All right. So let's check out these example sentences. Here's the first one. They decided to carpool to work to reduce their carbon footprint. You got it? Yes, they decided to carpool to work. Next, carpooling allows commuters to share the expenses of gas and parking. Again, carpooling does allow you to save money. And finally, we set up a carpooling schedule to take turns driving our kids to soccer practice. Again, in an effort to save gas and to save time. You do it this week, I'll have my own time, and then next week I'll do it so you can have your own time. Carpooling. You got it? Excellent. So, once again, our first word after me, carpool. Excellent. All right, let's move on now to our second word, and we're speaking again about transportation. The second word after me is toll. Good. Again, toll. Excellent. Now, this term toll just refers to a charge payable for the use of a particular road or bridge, typically used to fund its construction or maintenance. In English, we say toll. I remember when I went to buy my car, the car that I'm currently driving now. I purchased the car in January and I had to go to an area that was far away from where I live. And in order to get there, you have to take a long road. But there's a shortcut. If you want to take the shortcut, the shorter route, you have to pay a toll. They built that road to get people to that destination faster, but you have to pay a toll. Again, a charge payable in order to use a particular road or bridge. You got it? Excellent. All right, here's the first example sentence. The toll booth collected fees from drivers passing through the expressway. Next, we had to pay a toll to cross the bridge into the neighboring state. And finally, the government announced an increase in toll rates to finance infrastructure projects. You got it? Yes. All right. So once again, number 2 after me, toll. Good. And what was number 1 again? Do you remember? What was number 1? Oh, you're good. Yes. Number 1 after me, carpool. Excellent. All right. Now let's move on to number 3. Number 3 after me. This is lane. Good. Again, lane. Excellent. Now, this term lane just refers to a marked route for a single line of vehicles within a road or highway, typically separated by painted lines and used for guiding traffic. So I literally want you to imagine driving on a road, right? You're on this road or you're on the highway. Now, the highway allows multiple cars to be side by side driving in one direction. Let's say there are 4 cars going maybe at different speeds, but they're still driving parallel to each other. Why? Because they each have their own lane. You caught it, right? Yeah, so when you're driving and you see the dotted lines, right? You see a major road, and then on that major road, you'll see dotted lines. Those dotted lines indicate the lanes. So cars are able to drive within the individual lanes. Does that make sense? Yes, excellent. You're so smart. Here we go. All right, now the first example sentence. The highway was dedicated or has dedicated lanes for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Next, stay in the right lane if you're planning to exit at the next junction. And finally, the bicycle lane is separated from vehicular traffic by a barrier for added safety. It's interesting, there was a video that came up on YouTube by a guy named Casey Neistat, and it's called Bike Lanes, I think, and he was talking about how cars sometimes go in the bike lanes when they're not supposed to be there. Why? The lanes are for bikes. So you can look that up. Casey Neistat, Bike Lanes. Interesting video. Very well shot. All right, so number 3 again after me is lane. Good job. What was number 1? Come on, memory. Yes, number 1, carpool. Number 2, excellent, toll. And number 3 we just learned? Yes, number 3, lane. Excellent. All right, now let's go on to number 4. Number 4 is actually kind of an expression. It's a term we use. Again, after me, this is rush hour. Good. Again, rush hour. Excellent. Now, this term rush hour is very commonly used when speaking about transportation, and it just refers to the busy periods of the day when traffic congestion is at its peak, typically occurring during the morning and evening when people are commuting to and from work. We call this period rush hour because there are so many cars on the road, so many cars going in the same direction, so a lot of traffic, right? You're sitting there for a longer period of time than you would if you had left at a different time. This is called rush hour. Make sense? Excellent. All right, so let's check out these example sentences. Here's the first one. Avoid driving during rush hour if you can, as traffic tends to be gridlocked. Gridlocked. Now, gridlocked, really quickly, I'll explain. It means you're really like bumper to bumper. The car's bumper behind you, your bumper, and then the car's bumper in front of you. You can't really go anywhere. On the left side, there's a car. Behind you, there's a car. In front of you, there's a car. And to the right, everyone's driving the same speed, and you can't really move over anywhere. Gridlocked. You got it? Oh, you're smart. I love it. All right, here's the second example sentence. Public transportation services often experience overcrowding during rush hour. And finally, his job allows him to work flexible hours, avoiding the stress of rush hour traffic. Yes, you got it. So once again, number 4 after me is rush hour. Good. What's number 1? Oh, yeah, you know it. Carpool. Number 2. Yes, toll. Number 3. Excellent. Lane. And number 4, we just learned it. Yes, rush hour. Good job. All right. Now, number 5, again, speaking about the topic of transportation. After me, fare. Good. Again, fare. Excellent. Now, this term fare literally just refers to the money paid for transportation, especially by bus, train, or taxi. I remember when I was living in South Korea. Now, in America, I have a car and I drive everywhere. In South Korea, I did not have a car. Their public transportation system was amazing. The buses, the taxis, everything was amazing. The metro, everything was great. In order to get on the bus, in order to get on the train or take a taxi, you needed to pay a fare. Once again, a fare just refers to money paid for transportation. You got it? Yes, excellent. All right, here is the first example sentence. We purchased our bus fares before boarding the double-decker. Double-decker just refers to a bus that has 2 levels. Secondly, senior citizens are eligible for discounted fares on public transportation. And finally, the taxi driver quoted a fare based on the distance to our destination. You got it? Yes. So, number 5 again after me, fare. Good. You know what's coming. What's number 1? Come on now. What's number 1? Yes, carpool. Number 2. Yes, toll. Number 3. Excellent, lane. Number 4. Yes, rush hour. And number 5. Oh yeah, number 5 again, fare. Excellent. All right, now what we're going to do is listen to a paragraph using each of the words you learned in this lesson. I want you to listen closely and make a note of how the words are used in this paragraph. Here we go. Getting around in a new city can be overwhelming. During rush hour, traffic jams can turn a simple drive into a lengthy ordeal. Luckily, there are options. Public transportation offers a convenient way to travel, though you'll need to understand the fare system, whether it's a flat fee or pay per ride. For those on a budget, carpooling with colleagues is another great way to share the cost and gas, especially on highways with high tolls. Knowing which lane to be in and how to navigate these systems is all part of mastering the art of transportation in a new place. So don't worry. With a little exploration, you'll be navigating the city like a pro in no time. This was such a natural paragraph, such a natural way to speak about transportation while using the terms you learned in today's lesson. We had rush hour, fare, carpooling, tolls, and lane. Each of the words you learned today were found in this paragraph. Now remember, everything that you learned today actually can be found in my weekly email newsletter, Daily English Vocabulary. It's sent out from Sunday to Friday and totally free. And every day you'll get 5 new words about a specific topic. So go to www.dailyenglishvocabulary.com, enter your email, and I'll start sending you an email each and every day to help you improve your vocabulary. Until next time, I'll see you then.